When it comes to actually training the squat, you want to make sure that you're doing a couple of things correctly. The first is training your abs. If you aren't training your abs directly, you're going to be losing a lot of strength that you could easily add onto your barbell squat just by squatting more. In my experience, it doesn't come down to leg strength as much as it comes down to core strength. If your abs, low back, and all those other muscle groups aren't able to support the bar on your back, then you're not going to be able to squat more weight. It's going to limit how much your legs can actually push, unfortunately. When it comes to training the abs to transfer over to building a bigger squat, we want to be thinking about doing movements that we can easily load. So for something like a plank, you can put a weight on your back, you can wear a weighted vest, but the goal is to slowly overload it with weight over time. In that regard, anything we're going to be able to add weight or improve the difficulty of it is going to be good here. Another exercise I like to do is the ab wheel. This is very, very cheap. You can get one for about 10 bucks on Amazon. I'll put a link in the description box for one that I use. But this is very, very easy. You grab this thing and you get into a kneeling position and you just roll out to a full, it's basically like a rolling plank, if that makes sense. Here's the cool thing. If you are getting too strong at the kneeling ab wheel, which is very, very hard to do. I've had people working on this for a very long time, but they've never been able to do a standing ab wheel. I've only seen 2 people do these, and those people are Dan Green, I'll put a video up right there, and Ernie Lillybridge Jr. These are the only 2 people I've seen do standing ab wheels, and they both squat massive weights, they deadlift massive weights. So if you're able to do standing ab wheel, that's probably the best ab exercise you'll ever need to do, because if you can do, a set of 5 to 10 of that, that's probably all the ab strength you're ever going to need to squat and deadlift, 500, 600, 700 plus pounds, because it's that hard, it's that demanding on the body, and the stability you need throughout your whole entire body to perform it is absolutely insane. So definitely work on the ab wheel and try to get to that standing position, because it's very difficult, but if you get there, you're going to be a lot stronger because of it. Other things you can do, weighted sit-ups. These aren't going to be done on the ground because that's going to put a lot of pressure on your spine and your lower back. How I recommend we do these is off of like a 45-degree back raise or a glute ham raise even, because this allows you to put your feet up, hook them in, and then you're able to get a full range of motion without putting any pressure on your lower back whatsoever. And you can overload this with 45 plus pounds easily. You just got to, have someone put the plates on you and you're good to go. So if you're having a hard time getting your squat up, I recommend you go in and you actually work on building your abdominal strength, because this is something that a lot of people don't do and it shows in their strength. So build your abdominal strength up, use movements that are going to build the most muscle that are going to actually be loadable with weights. And as long as you're doing that, you should be able to push your squat to new heights pretty quickly. Next on our list is the posterior chain. Here's something that most people should know. If you're only working on squats and you're not doing things to your hamstrings and your lower back, you're leaving a lot of pounds on the table. So what I recommend people do, these 2 exercises. Back extensions. With back extensions, you're on a glute ham raise or a 45-degree back extension. And again, your goal is to do sets of 10 to 20, but you want to be able to add weight to this over time. So if you get 3 sets of 20 with body weight, add 5 pounds. You can either hold the weight in your hand, you can hold it behind your head, you can even put a barbell in front of you like Pete Rubish does, but as long as you're adding weight to it over time, that's going to build a lot of strength in your hamstrings, your glutes, and your lower back. And these have a very, very positive effect on your squat strength. So the stronger those muscle groups are, the more that your quads and your glutes are going to be able to power through any of the other, the squat workouts you do. So as long as you're doing those things and getting your hamstrings, your glutes, and your lower back stronger, it's going to build a bigger squat over time. One of the other exercises that I recommend that people do that is not, I don't see it being done very often compared to regular deadlifts, but Romanian or stiff leg deadlifts. These put you in a position in the deadlift that you don't want to be in normally, but because of the position you're in, it's going to be building a lot of static strength in the lower back, especially the upper back too, because you're holding the bar out in front of you at the bottom. And your hamstrings on the way down, they're getting a huge stretch with a lot of weight, a lot more weight that you can use with the back extension. And on the way up, you're pushing the hips through and you're using the hamstrings and the glutes to finish the movement. Definitely try these 2 exercises out. Do back extensions, do Romanian deadlifts. Start very light with the Romanian deadlifts and make sure your form is locked in. Because if you do not, you're going to get injured. If you can start at like 95 pounds off the floor, that's a very good place to start. It's very hard to maintain that neutral spine, because if you don't have that neutral spine on a Romanian deadlift, you're going to get injured. It's just how it goes. And the other major thing that you need to be focusing on for building a stronger posterior chain is actually your lats and your upper back. The stronger these muscle groups are, the more stability you're going to have on your back when you're putting the bar the bar on your traps, because if you don't have traps, then the bar is going directly on your spine. It's going to be very hard. It's going to shift around. I see this with beginners a lot. They don't have a lot of muscle up there, so they're putting it directly on their spine, unfortunately. And the bar moves around a lot. That's not how you want it to be whatsoever. So you want to think about building up the traps, building up the upper back, the rhomboids, because that's where the bar is going to be positioned, is right above those. If you're doing a low bar squat, it's going to be on your rear delts. It just depends on how you prefer to squat. The main thing is working on your lats, because every time you do a squat, you don't want your elbows up here. You want them down and locked in. The stronger and bigger your lats are, the more stability you're going to have there. So I recommend things like dumbbell rows and barbell rows. These are going to give you the best bang for your buck. You're going to be able to add the most mass with the least amount of time compared to other movements. But I think for building actual mass that's going to transfer over to the main barbell lifts, especially the squat, focusing on barbell and dumbbell rows, T-bar rows work. As long as you're getting the elbows in, that's going to be working a lot of the lats compared to your upper back. The more you go up, it's going to start transitioning more to your rhomboids and your upper back. So just pay attention to how you're positioning your elbows when you're doing your rows, and that should give you the best bang for your buck for building up the lats. And remember, when we're squatting, we want to keep the elbows down because that locks in your back and makes the bar very, very stable on your back. So this is the absolute most important thing that you need to do when you're doing any heavy movement, whether you're squatting, deadlifting, overhead pressing. So here we go. Abdominal bracing. Most people think you're supposed to be breathing in on the way down and breathing out on the way up. But this is absolutely incorrect. Intra-abdominal bracing is something that a lot of people have no idea about. It's something that is commonly referred to as the Valsalva maneuver. And this is basically where, before you start your squat or your deadlift, you're taking a deep breath in, you're pressurizing down in your abs, your low back, and your obliques, and you're holding that air in throughout the whole lift. You don't take it in, you hold it halfway and then let go as you go up, because that's gonna remove all that stability you just spent time building up, which doesn't make any sense. So, as soon as you unrack the bar, you're taking in a deep breath. And you don't wanna be thinking about breathing up into your chest, because this is not how we wanna be breathing properly. You wanna think about breathing down into your abs, into your stomach, and pushing the air out into your obliques, your lower back, and down as low as you can into your stomach. And you're gonna hold this throughout the whole entire movement. By doing this, you're gonna have the most amount of stability. The power you're gonna be able to generate into the barbell is gonna be a lot stronger, and you're gonna be a lot safer. I've seen people deadlift without doing abdominal bracing, and you should see some of the deadlift form out there. It's absolutely atrocious. It's the same thing with the squat. If you're not doing this, you're gonna get injured over time. Every single big lifter in the world, everybody that squats a ton of weight, everybody that deadlifts a lot of weight, they all do intra-abdominal bracing. If they don't, they get injured way before they get to the point where they're breaking world records. So if you're gonna listen to anything in this video, if you're gonna take any of these tips and apply them, you need to be doing abdominal bracing. You have to take that deep breath in, you have to pressurize your core, and you have to hold it in throughout the whole entire movement. If you don't do this, you will get injured. It's just a matter of time. Also, for those that are looking into more abdominal bracing basics and how to implement it, I'm gonna link a video to Chris Duffin. He's one of the main people in the industry that has a ton of knowledge on this subject. It's something that he's done to deadlift over 1,000 pounds for multiple reps. He's squatted over 900 pounds for multiple reps. So he absolutely knows what he's talking about. He's one of the strongest people in the world. I'll put his channel with the video I'm talking about right below. You need to train your abs, you need to train your posterior chain, and you need to implement abdominal bracing. These three things will build your squat up like crazy. If you aren't doing this, you're not gonna be able to generate as much power into the bar. There's never gonna be a point where your abs or your lower back are gonna be strong enough, so make sure you're training these as hard as you can for as long as you can. It's gonna prevent injury, and it's gonna make you stronger as a person, and it's gonna make you more useful in general, because a stronger person is a more useful person. If you guys have any questions on this, feel free to drop a comment below and I'll get to them as soon as I possibly can. But that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys learned a lot and you want to see more, make sure to leave a comment down below, and consider subscribing, because it helps a lot for the channel. And I really want to grow this community into something great. I've had a couple of you guys talking and asking questions already, and I really appreciate it. So definitely share this with your friends, with your family, anybody that might get something out of it. I really appreciate it, and I hope you guys all have a great weekend. Until next time, Dante Redgrave. I missed again.